we're going to be raising some money for the Sturgis Museum, too. Last year when I was at the breakfast, we found out that I guess the post office is full, and they need another building. So I talked to Woody, and we're going to try to work something out, and I'm going to do a concert over there at the Chip, and we got a bike that we're putting together to raise some money, and we're giving a guitar away that I'm getting Ugly Oliver from the Love Ride to help me get some signatures on it and stuff. So we're just going to try to raise a bunch of money and give it to the museum and have a Sturgis Museum Day at the Buffalo Chip.
Awesome. That sounds really good.
Yeah, so I'd like you to come up and take some pictures while I'm playing.
That sounds great. Need to get you playing again.
Yeah, well, I had a great
Be
time.
on an outdoor stage.
Yeah, well, I had a great time playing at your party last year, and Damien's going to be calling me again, and it was great just doing acoustic stuff and have Barry Warlow from Accurate Engineering and Rogue and all them people coming up and singing and stuff. It was great, man. Your party's amazing. It's a really cool party that you set up over there at the Chip, man.
It's nice to see the industry all get together.
Yeah.
Tell me, when are your frog jumps this year?
My frog jumps are May 20th and 21st, and if you want to come, I can hook you up a room and everything, and pick you up at the airport and all that stuff. I got Jackie. Randy Simpson's coming in. Randy Simpson paid for the Fry Brothers, so the Fry Brothers band's playing, my band's playing, and Randy came in as a sponsor on the show to help out, and it's unbelievable, man. It's gonna be a good. I got Jennifer Scott. She's gonna be emceeing, and my bike's finally coming for my new album. That song that I wrote for you, and Chris Collins is on the album. And come to find out, I just did an interview with Eddie Trotta, and he plays piano, so I'm trying to get him on the album real quick before we shoot the. Yeah, so look, I'm gonna have the bike over there at Sturgis, right? The Iron Voodoo bike. And Sonny Keaton put it together. It's all New Orleans and skulls, and it's just a one-of-a-kind looking kind of thing. And I want to shoot it for my album cover. I was wondering if there was a way I could roll it over there by the expo and shoot a shot for me.
I think we'll have to arrange that.
That would be cool to have you on the, that you shot the cover.
We'll have to arrange that.
Because everybody's on the album. Eric Buell's on the album. He played guitar. Big Mike Griffin's on it. Harry Fry. It's a pretty cool album. It's called Iron Voodoo, and I wrote a song about the bike, and the bike's going to be on the front cover. So, and I'm going to be showcasing it at the Chip. So I thought I know it's asking a lot, man, but boy, I mean it'd be like winning the lotto if you shot the cover.
We'll make that happen.
Man, I love you, Michael. So hey, can I talk to you a little bit about some of the old school stuff? For
sure.
Photographers that. For instance, I got a friend of mine that just came in as a sponsor on the show. I don't know if you ever heard of her, Beverly Roberts, Flash Productions.
I'm not familiar with the name.
Well, her dad was a outlaw, and his name was Flash. And
I'm familiar with the project now that you say it.
Yeah, back in the 60s, he shot a bunch of old pictures with, the cameras, I call it like the squeeze box.
Uh-huh.
With the flash bulb on top and all. And she's got 2 books called American Portraits of the American, and it's just a bunch of old black and white cool. I'm telling you, you would love these pictures, man, because when I look at them, I think of you, because it's just a good collection of some cool pictures, right?
Yeah, what is her name again?
Her name is Beverly Roberts, and it's Flash Productions.
Wow.
And she came in as a sponsor on my internet show, and she also funded me I'm doing a project called The Clubhouse, and I filmed the Ghost Mountain Riders up here in Santa Cruz, and what I'm doing is I got clubs letting me in, and I'm coming in, and we're sitting down and we're talking about what it is to be in a club and to be an American. It's totally the opposite of gangland. It shows the brotherhood, and I got 5 clubs, and I'm doing a 1-hour documentary, and we're getting like the Scorpions and the Lonely Ones from Buffalo, New York, and I'm mixing it up. I'm putting different clubs that are from other support things, so that way it just ain't a California thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so we shot the first segment, me and Sabrina, and it came out really good with the Ghost Mountain Riders up here in beautiful Santa Cruz with all the redwood trees and everything. But anyway, what I wanted to ask you is, just like Flash, back in the day, you was kind of using the same kind of camera, right? Was using the big cameras back then, and
I wasn't using that big of a camera. I was just using regular film cameras.
Really?
That was even 30 years ago. Yep.
Wow, because you got the same look as that. I mean, well, of course you definitely got it going on and all, but back in them days, you didn't have the cameras like nowadays, right? Do you think you captured more of the lifestyle on the old stuff, or the new stuff's got a way better effect?
You know, one of the things that's hard is that, and I was never focused on the clubs. I was always really dealing with independent bikers because that's
Right.
what I was. You know, I was going up to Sturgis and to other rallies as an independent, riding around the country. So it's definitely different than that. I mean, that was an immersion into a kind of a culture within a culture.
Right.
And you know, one of the things that I have to look at is I feel that over the years, you know, I've been shooting bikers for over 30 years now, that I've improved as a photographer. So it's kind of hard to compare. I think I'm better now than I was then, or I believe I know I am.
Yeah.
And I still love going out and capturing the lifestyle. And in particular, I love now to get out with the younger people that are getting involved. And to me, that's the most exciting thing for me to do.
Cool. Well, you know, I was trying to like put it in a musician thing. Like, you know, I can get on an old 1957 Fender Strat and make that baby purr like a kitten. And sometimes I'll get on one of these new guitars and it just ain't that feeling, you know. And so I was trying to get your, you know.
I mean, it is very different. I think
Yeah.
that I have to look much harder. And I'd say there's probably a number of years that we really got away from things, you know, that things changed so much. But as I was just saying about the younger people, I feel the excitement and energy that's there. And I think that looks back to the 60s for inspiration. And maybe that's why I love it so much.
Now, when you're taking shots of bikes out on the road, right? Is it better for the bike to be going really slow, or, I mean, what's about like if I was going to shoot some bikes out on the road and I had my camera and you know I'm just starting out and I was looking for advice, you know, and I got some bikes on the road and I'm in the back of a truck or I'm on the back of a bike, what would be a cool speed to shoot at?
You know, I always tell people, go the speed of traffic, you know. And if that's 5 or 10 miles over the speed limit, I go with it because I don't want cars bunching up behind me. I don't want to be pushing up on cars, and I think the safest way to go is with traffic. So that's what we do. We go highway speed wherever we are.
Very cool, man. See, I know a lot of listeners out there that really admire your work. You know, I mean, I try to ask you some questions, you know, that are out the box a little bit. So I hope I ain't freaking you out a little bit.
No, I mean there's going to be exceptions to that, but
yeah.
Typically it's not going too slow. I want the pavement blurred and the tires blurred. You know, I want it to look like there's action and speed. You know, maybe the only exception was the motorcycle cannonball, the coast-to-coast run that I did last September, and you know, for that we went as fast as the bikes could go. You know, that was about it. And some of those are going 50. We were on secondary roads for 99% of that trip, but you know, some of the bikes were 35 miles an hour. We just did what we could do, and I'd go along with them.
Now, what about overseas? You were saying you did some stuff overseas. What was that all about? What'd you do?
Well, you know, I've done a lot of stuff overseas. Actually, for the last 4 years, this particular week, I'd probably be on a plane right now to Germany.
Oh,
but
cool.
this year I decided not to go. That I've been traveling so much this winter. I've been gone really about 50% or more of my time. So I decided to stay back on a couple trips that I normally do attend. So, yeah, I'll do Germany. There's a great bike show and event over there that Custom Chrome puts on. I've done some shows in Italy. A lot of times they're tied to me displaying my own personal work, the kind of stuff that I had in my exhibition last summer, my own personal photography that we frame and display. And so, you know, I did a show in Italy, for example, in Milan, a great exhibition. I was invited over there as a guest, but then we tied in with an event. So we went to, funny enough, it was a hog meet over there in Italy. And it was one of the most fun parties I've ever done with motorcycles.
Now, do you speak other languages? Do you know a little bit of the lingo in some of the countries? You know, you've been here so many times and stuff. I mean, did you kind of pick up on some of the words where you can don't have to do the whole English thing?
I am embarrassed to say that I don't at all. You know, I used to be able to get by with French.
Yeah.
And that's one of the places I don't go to quite as much. I've maybe only go. I haven't been there in 5 years, probably. Italy, we've gone a number of times. But you know, that's another thing. Which language do you learn? I think certainly Spanish would be the most useful right now.
Exactly.
But we were in Mexico a couple months ago, and I was invited back next month. so that would certainly be a great, useful language, but, it won't help me much when I go to Russia or Sweden, right? Will it?
Yeah, right.
And we're lucky, because around motorcycles, even when I'm in Japan, regardless of where I am, that English is so widely spoken that, especially obviously being in the Harley world and traveling in the Harley world overseas, English is kind of universal, because you go to an event, let's say the Norrtälje show in Stockholm or outside of Stockholm, Sweden, and those bikes are coming from a number of different countries. Well, what's their common language?
Right.
Same thing in Germany. We go to a party on the Friday night that Custom Chrome puts on, and boy, there's Spaniards and Russians and Hungarians and Swedes and Norwegians and Brits, everywhere. They come from all over. And I've even seen Japanese there.
Wow.
So talk about the different languages, and there may be groups of them, so they're speaking amongst themselves, and then they turn the next thing they're speaking English.
Yeah, you know what makes me feel so good about this whole thing is all of them love American motorcycles. I mean,
They do.
Yeah, they do, man. They love the whole culture and the whole. I mean, look, all the people that come to Sturgis and stuff that from overseas just to come hang out and stuff and be a part of it. And I look back at, like, I seen a movie, I'm sure you've seen it too, Tombstone, with Kurt Russells and Wyatt Earp and all of that, right? And when he was getting older, back, he had that girl with him, and he seen a horseless carriage go by, and it was like, freaked him out. He was like looking at it like, what? And, it ain't too far off before we're going to be sitting on a porch and see a bike go by, and it's just going to go zzz, and it ain't going to have that loud sound of a Harley Davidson, because of the electric thing and all of that. And it's going to be a thing of the past.
Well, it may. When you're in the grand scheme of history, who knows where this is going? So,
yeah,
you just got to appreciate what we have and when we have it. And certainly for me, 30 plus years at it now, it's been a long run that I've had. I never thought I'd make my life around it, but it's the way things happen.
Well, and you've been with Easy Rider for years.
Back in some years, who knows?
Yeah, man. And like I say, most people dream about doing stuff like, going out and taking photos for Easy Rider and hanging out and doing stuff like that. I mean, even when you're at work, you're at a big old party. You're like me when I go and play. I mean, my job is to play my guitar in front of a bunch of people and have fun. And man, it's really cool when you can make money at doing some stuff you really enjoy doing.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, it really is, brother. Hey, so I got one more thing to ask you, and then I'll let you go. Now, you took some shots at Dave Mann back in the day, right?
Very few, because
did you get to
I
know
saw
him?
him in Daytona a few times, but we were in a social sense.
Yeah.
I was in Kansas City with him for something, and it was in actually Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I don't think I even shot him there because we were just in a social deal, or we were at a hotel or something. I did shoot him one time in Philadelphia. I got him in a studio, which was nice to do.
Right. So, I mean, was he a cool guy to talk to and hang around with?
Well, I think, looking at his artwork, you could only imagine he was a very cool guy, and anyone that knew him did. Now, I certainly didn't know him. I would see him at these events once in a while, and he didn't go to a lot of the events, but for various reasons, we'd be in the same place at the same time, which was very neat. And but boy, I'll tell you, the people at the office that have known him, that knew him all those years.
Yeah, like Kim and them. Yeah.
Kim Peterson in particular. Yeah. Kim and who else that's left out there? But probably Kim the most. And of course, Rip was
right.
I think they were both there at the time when I saw him.
Well, his artwork has changed so many people's lives, and same thing with your photography, man. You got some little kid, 13, 14 years old, looking in the Easy Rider book and seeing a picture that Michael Lichter shot, and it's a cool guy on the bike with the tattoos and the long hair, and a couple of years later, that's what that kid's looking like, So you guys influence a lot of people with your work, and it's just amazing.
Well, thank you very much. At least I'll take that as a compliment. But those influences come from everywhere.
Yeah.
And, it comes from music, like you do.
Right.
And I'll tell you, we can't underestimate the impact of television, whether it's television you like or don't like. When there's bikes on television, that has a big influence on kids.
It does, man. Well, I'll tell you what, Michael, you just keep on doing what you're doing, man. We love you here at Bikers Inner Circle. Everybody in my band, we're always, looking for you when we're playing somewhere, and I'll see you at the Buffalo Chip, brother, and I'll bring the bike over and stuff. And I really appreciate you being on the show, folks. Please go to Michael Lichter's website. Oh, by the way, Michael, I got a new page called Friends of Bikers Inner Circle, and I'm getting you linked up on that today. I already sent the email out, so
that'd be awesome. Thank you, Charlie.
You'll be able to link up through us, but please check out his work, and Mike, just keep on doing what you're doing. All right, love and respect from Good Time Charlie.
All right, Charlie. You take care. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.
All right, brother.